Hi everybody, this is Alicia Markfort. I am a independent stamp demonstrator in the United States. I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and today is coffee break and cards with Lish. I come on here every Thursday at 2 p.m. I go live, and the let's see, the second, I believe, yeah, the second and third Thursday of the month, I do what I call coffee break and cards with Lish, where we can just kind of get together, chit chat, and I show you how to make some fun things. Sometimes it's a card, sometimes it's a treat box, whatever. It's just kind of whatever. And then on the, no, I think, okay, first and third, hey Lori, how are you? And then the other Thursdays, I hold my class to go. So that is, and they're always Thursday. They're always at 2 o'clock Central Time. So how's everybody today? I'm good. I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee, waiting for 2 o'clock to pop up, and it popped up finally. So today, I want to share a few things with you before we get started on the projects. The projects today are Thanksgiving hostess gifts. But before we get started, I would like to tell you about a ordering special that I am going to have. It starts today. Oh, good. I'm glad, Lori. It's good to hear that you're good. And this is in honor of my stamping anniversary, which we call, demonstrators call our Stampiversary, and that is when we became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on November 13th, 2021. So this will be what, 24th year? Yeah, 4th year. So in honor of that, I was hoping that you guys, hey Debbie, how are you? I was hoping that you guys could help me celebrate, and so I'm going to have an ordering special. So like I said, I signed up to be a demonstrator November 13th, 2021. I love everything about being a demonstrator. Nothing beats belonging to this awesome community of stampers. I just love it. So my ordering special to celebrate my Stampiversary, this starts today, November 6th, and runs through November 10th. So the details for this, they're very simple. It's pretty basic, but I think it's pretty great. So when you spend $50 in my online store before tax and shipping and after rewards, you will receive a pack of embellishments from me. It, varies. I have a ton of them. It will be a brand new pack. It may be, oh good, I'm glad that you're doing great, Debbie. It may be a retired pack of embellishments. It may be a brand new pack. Might be on the last chance list. It's going to be random. Then, if you spend $75 in my online store before tax and shipping, and after rewards, you will receive the pack of embellishments and a pack of DSP from me. And this will be a brand new, never used DSP before. It will be 6x6. So if I do have some 12x12, that will be cut down to 6x6. Then if you spend $100 in my online store before tax and shipping and after rewards, you'll receive a pack of embellishments, the pack of 6x6 DSP, and 10 handmade cards from me. So that will be my ordering special. Like I said, it runs from today, November 6th, and runs through November 10th. So I hope you can help me celebrate. I'm also going to have a little bit of fun in my Stamping Circle Facebook page. So if you do not belong to that, I would like for you to join my Expressions by Lish Stamping Circle group page. It is a private page that you join the group, and it's all like-minded people. It's all Stampin' Up and stampers and crafters and paper crafters that belong to this group, and I am going to celebrate. We're going to do little fun things. I don't want to give everything away, but there will be prizes and giveaways and that will I'm trying to think. Trying to think of when I wrote down that I'm going to start it, but oh, hi Debbie, how are you? It's my Aunt Debbie. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining. So, I would like to get started now that you have, oh, back to my stamping circle. Like I said, if you want to join that page, that would be great. You can reach out to me and I'll get you all the details. And like I said, to celebrate my stamp anniversary, and it is November, it is my birthday month. So we'll be doing a lot of celebrating in that group. So, like I said, it'll be a lot of giveaways. So you'll have to make sure and join me for that. So let me just switch over my camera view here so you can see my table, so you can see what we're going to be doing today. All right. Okay, so this is Thanksgiving Hostess gifts. So what I did was I made a box for cards. I made a tag or to hold on a bottle of wine. I made a little gift box. It's kind of hard to see, but it's that window sheets. And there is a little candle, and I was super excited about this candle, you guys. Look at this. Can you see it? Isn't that cute? It's a turkey on a votive light. And it's one of those, you know, electric, no flame lights. Yeah, isn't that cute? And he's both sided, two double sided. It came in a pack of, I'm not giving you guys a really good look at it. Here, can you see that? Isn't that cute? It came with a set, and there's a pumpkin that can go on top. You can interchange them. There's pumpkins, and there's turkeys, and there was maple leaves. Yeah, the turkey's super cute, but it fits in this super cute little box that we're going to make today. And he just kind of fits right in there. It's a really cute little hostess gift. And then this banner, party banners gift box that we are going to make today. And it does open. And this is the box. And then you can see I stamped on the inside. And you could put treats in there, a little gift in there. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to make this awesome gift box. When I first saw this was actually, I saw demonstrator, her name is Lynn Dunn. She makes some fabulous, fabulous things. And when I saw this box, it reminded me of when you buy like a box of Christmas cards, how there's like an insert on the inside sometimes. Well, this isn't an insert, but it looks like it. So I just had to make it because it just reminded me of when you buy cards at the store at Christmas time. But so what I did was I just used cards that I had made with my paper pumpkin kit that coordinates with the autumn Toile suite. And so this will fit 4 to 6 cards. And it's really, and then I just put it in an cellophane bag that I had purchased. I think the bags are like 6x8. So this is what we're going to use today. Okay, so I do have this. If anybody likes to screenshot. I think I have the whole thing in the thing. Now's the time to do it. If you want to take a quick shot. This is the pattern for this box, and that is what I'm going to show you how to make today. It is a lot easier than it looks. So it starts with a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You can obviously use any color that you would like. I am using Cajun Craze today to keep with my fall theme. And we are going to start and we are going to score. So if you use Stampin' Up's cutter, then you know that you need your light gray blade to score. As my team lead, Melissa would say, you want to park the dark. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to score on the long side, and we're going to score starting at 1. And your long side is your 11-inch side. So we're going to score at 1. And we are going to score at 7. And we are going to score at 8. Okay, and then you're going to turn your cardstock and you're going to score on the short side, and you're going to score at 1, 2, 6.5, and 7.5. Okay, and that's all that we have for scoring. It's pretty, I like that it just uses one piece of paper and you get your whole box. Okay, so here's my cardstock. I'm sure you can't see the score lines very well. But what you want is can you see kind of a little bit? Yeah, the shorter side where the short little rectangle thing is, this goes on the left when we're cutting. So I'm going to take my little handy dandy guide here that I have. I'm going to grab my snips and we're going to get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut the bottom rectangle. We're just going to cut that right off because we don't need it. I'm going to cut that. Okay. And then we are going to cut the next square because we don't need this square either. We're going to cut that right off at the score line. Okay. Then we are going to cut up to the score line on both sides here. We're going to cut up. Okay. And can you guys see that okay? I keep getting this little box that pops up in front of me, my view, and I just can't see my whole screen. Okay, so now we have our flap that we cut, and we're going to corner, you're going to miter the end so that when you go to fold your box together, everything goes flat and stays where it needs to be. So there we have our first flap. So now we're going to go to this side and we're going to cut off on the right. We're going to cut off this square. We do not need that square. Then we're going to cut up on the left, just up to the score line. And this is another flap that we need. So we're going to miter that the same we did with our other flap. Just take a little bit of the angle, angle it so that you get a flap so that it's not so bulky. Okay, so now we have this. So now you're just going to take, and you're going to turn this around, and it's basically the same as the other side. So we don't need this bottom square, so we're going to cut that off. And then we're going to go on this other square, we're just going to go up and just snip till you hit the score line. And then we're going to angle cut or miter our edges of our flap. So now we have another flap. Now we're going to move down here, and now on this side we do not need this bottom square or the bottom rectangle. So I am just going to cut both of those off, just like so. Okay, I'm going to take that, I'm going to get these out of the way. And we're going to do the same thing with this other square here. We're going to cut up to the score line on both sides, and we are going to miter the edges like we did on the other ones. And there is our box. Okay, do we have any questions, or how's everybody doing today? I think I asked that already. But before we start gluing, I am going to fold on all of my score lines and use my bone folder so I get a nice crisp fold so that my box does not look wonky. Everything looks nice and crisp, and everything holds together nicely when all the score lines are. So do you guys that make cards, do you gift cards at all, or put them in a little set? Or I know I do. I love giving them away. Okay, so here we are. We're just folding and burnishing with our bone folder. And the only thing I missed was this one right here. So like that. And like that. Okay, so again, we have our rectangle flap on this side. Lori, I gift cards all the time. Well, that's so great. I just love it because, you know, we as stampers or paper crafters, we make a lot of cards, and it's always great. Just we have to remember to either mail them or gift them. Okay, so what we're going to do is I am going to use liquid glue today. And what we're going to do is we are going to put glue here, and we're going to put glue here. Let me see, I got to think. Yep. Okay, so we're going to put glue here and here. And then all we need to do then is fold, tuck in our flaps like this, and then we're just going to fold over like this. And hold it for just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to turn around. Well, maybe a little longer than that. You know, it holds instantly when you make a mistake and you can't get it back apart. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're just tuck that flap in, and we're going to roll it over to close it, just like that. We're just going to hold it for a minute to make sure. Okay, and then on this end, we are going to do the same thing. We are going to take these two flaps right here, and we are going to add our glue, just like so. And we're going to stick this right like this. I'm going to start with one side, making sure that it's straight. And then I'm going to go to this side and make sure that we have it, and kind of hold it, pinch it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm just going to kind of push it up against my thumb on the outside and the inside, so I know that it's sticky stuck. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to use some pressure with my thumb on the outside of the box and the bone folder, and then I'm just going to go like that. Okay, so now we need to glue these. So now we're just going to take And we're going to add our liquid glue. You could absolutely use tear and tape if you'd like for this. And then we're going to just put this in here, and because we angle cut our sides, this fits and we don't have to like maneuver with it and move it all around to get it to go. Okay, that's it. That's your box. All that's left then is decorating. I think this is a really great box, and once you have the measurements and you cut, it really is a breeze. So to decorate it, what I did was I wanted to coordinate with my other gifts in case that I wanted to gift all of them in a basket. Then they all are matchy match because I like to coordinate things. Otherwise, you could just give this, or maybe you go to multiple things, or you want to gift a neighbor, or what have you. So what I did was I used two-toned Cajun Craze, and I embossed it with the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. And when you use two-tone paper, there's a darker side and a lighter side. I made sure when I was embossing, I used the lighter side so that I had a little bit of a contrast from my box. Okay, and then I have a mat, a basic white mat that goes underneath, just like so, and that will go on here. And then I do have a piece of DSP that will go on the left side, and some ribbon. Okay, before we adhere all of these together, I am going to sand my two-toned embossing paper. And what's nice with the two-tone paper is that the center is not, this paper is not colored all the way through like our cardstock. This has a white center, a white core, as some might call it. So this works great for tearing paper technique, a lot of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little, it's like a nail file slash sanding block, and I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it right over the top of my paper. And see how you get that white that comes in? And that way I'm bringing out, you can go as light or as hard as you'd like. You can do as much as you want. I kind of like to go on the edges. I just want to bring in a little bit of that white color to coordinate with my white mat. Okay, so that's it. And that's all that there is to that. But now look at, you have that pretty embossed leaf piece with some white sticking through, like you kind of colored on it a little bit. So I'm just going to take before we attach, I want to make my mat stack because I want to get my ribbon on there before we adhere it to our card box. So I'm just going to take it and we're just going to make even margins all the way around. And then I'm going to take my piece of DSP that is from the Autumn Toile 12 by 12 paper, and we are going to put that on the very left of our two-tone cardstock, leaving that piece of white border. And we're going to make sure it's straight here. Sort of straight. Okay, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to put some seal at the top and the bottom where I want my ribbon to go. And this, I'm using the Mossy Meadow ribbon. Let's see, do I have different size pieces? Yeah, okay. And I'm just going to do this cheater method here. And I'm just going to wrap this around just like this. And I probably was off camera when I was doing that. Okay, so now we have our ribbon, and now we can attach this to our gift box. And I'm just going to use seal I'm just going to run this across, and I like to go over the ribbon if I can, so that I get a good stick to it. Okay, so you're just going to take the box you just made, and we're going to go on this side, and we're just going to put that right on here, just like so. Okay, and then I did die cut 2 of the leaves from the Amber Autumn dies, and I used the Earth and Tone metallic paper. This paper is just, I just love it. But before I do that, I want to add my ribbon, my bow, so that I can tuck my leaves underneath that. So we're just going to tie a little bow, not all the way at the top, just a little bit at the top, so we have space for our leaves. Okay, that sort of looks okay. I'm not going to fuss with it right now. And then I left the veins on the inside because when you die cut, it does die cut them out. I don't know if you can see that. So what I did was I just keep it in there, and I just put a little Scotch tape on the back to hold it in. And then I am going to put some dimensionals on these and tuck them under my bow. Let's see, I need to cut some of these. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to put this one on. This is bigger. I'm going to put this one on the back of this one. I want one more on this other one here. Okay. Take our dimensionals. And I am going to just tuck them under here, like so. There's one. There's the other. Just like that. And then I am going to, I don't think I took my embellishments out. Let's see, I am going to, if I can find them, we are going to add some cute embellishments. Maybe, maybe not. I use those pretty streaked, they kind of look like wood. Well, we're going to use these instead. I am going to use the Cajun Crazing Gold, which is, these are nice too. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my tool, because you see I dropped that already. And I am just going to go one up here, and then I'm going to take one of the littles. Excuse my phone ringing. And I'm going to put one there, and then I'm going to take another one, and we're going to put it just down here, just like this. And there is our gift box, just like that. Basically, like, well, here's just an envelope. And you just stick your cards right in there, just like that. And it's a good amount of cards. It's 4 or 6. It just depends on the thickness of your card. So what do you guys think? Do you like this type of box? I thought it was kind of unique. I really liked it. Okay, so let's get this stuff out of the way. I'm going to take a sip of coffee because, I don't know, just dry throat, I guess. And the next one that we are going to make is this cute box, like I said, that holds that candle. I just love it. It's just so little and so cute. Isn't that cute? Yeah. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Yeah, I love this time of year and the colors. I just love fall colors. They're just so rich and beautiful. Okay, so let's get started. I could just sit and chat, but I guess I got work to do. Okay, so for this one, you need a piece of 2 by 12 window sheet. Okay, and it's up to you whether you want to emboss this or not. I thought it looked kind of neat having that acetate embossed. So, and then what you're going to do is I've already scored this, but I'll bring out my tool here to show you, because what you want to do is after you cut your window sheet, you want to score this at 5. And when you use your score blade on acetate, you do have to push hard. And you might want to go over it a couple different times. Okay, so you go on 5, and then you turn it around and you score at 5 again. And like I said, you want to push it down relatively hard. And then you can always check and bend. And if not, you can go in and rescore again, because you're scoring at the same exact spot on 5 so that it's in the same place. Hi, Mom. How are you? I finally had to call Paul to get live to work. Oh, okay. I was wondering who was calling. That was you, huh? All right. So we have our window sheet. We have that all done. We can set that aside. Oh, if you do want to emboss it and you do want to use the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, all I did was I took my piece of window sheet and I just put it right at the score line. I shut it, and then I left it, this piece, I don't know if you can see that, sticking out on the end, and then I ran it through the machine, and then I took it out, and then I just flipped it over, and I did the same thing again. I put it up to that score line, and then I ran it through my machine. And then that way you have each end is embossed, but your bottom is still, because this will be the bottom of our box in between the 2 score lines. That will be our bottom. So you want it to sit flat. Okay, so that's why I did not emboss the whole thing. Okay, so we have our window sheet. The next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need, I'm going to put this stuff aside. It's everything that I'm going to decorate with. A piece of 4 by 4 cardstock. Again, any color that you choose. I'm sticking with the fall theme. And this is a super simple box to make, because all you do is you score it at 1 1/8 on all 4 sides. I don't know if you can see the score lines here. Just like that. And here is the little diagram I made. So for everybody that likes to take a screenshot, I'm going to put this up here. Maybe I'll put it down here. I'm going to get out of the way. So if you want to take your screenshot, this is my guide for cutting. I made this to help show you guys. Okay, so I've already pre-scored because, like I said, it's pretty basic. But first thing you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to take your cardstock, and you're going to take your bone folder, and you want to burnish on all the score lines. Well, Mom, I'm glad you got it working. I'm glad. Okay, so now we have all our, and then all we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing that we did on the last box. We are going to cut up, and we're going to angle cut the sides, just like this, so that we can make flaps. And we're just going to cut up to the score line, and we're going to angle cut, pull that little piece off that comes out, and then do the same thing on this side. And then we're going to turn our box around, and we're going to do the same exact thing. And we're just going to angle cut, just like that, so that everything fits together nicely. And we're just going to cut and then angle cut, a miter. I'm going to get rid of all these little pieces that are going to be all over the place. Okay, so now you have your box. Okay, and it should look like this. But what we're going to do is, because this is a small box, I am going to trim off now, not on the longer pieces. I am just going to trim these flaps. And there's no measurement. You're just going to cut a little bit off because you don't need all that bulk on the inside of your box. It just makes it easier to put together. Let's see. Cut off that one, that one. I need to cut off this one yet. Okay. And there is your box. Okay. So now we need to put it together. And basically, it's just like any other box. This is all you do is you just put it together, just like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue, liquid glue, on my flaps that are going to go on the inside. And can you see why? I don't know if you can tell why it's good to cut these, because otherwise that would be too much on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue and we're going to put some on all these flaps here. Just like so. And like I said before, you can use tear and tape. Okay, so we're going to take it and we're just going to pinch it together and hold it for just a couple seconds to get everything working. And then we are going to do the same thing on this side. And there we have just our cute little box. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. Okay, and so it's up to you at this point. There's just our little box. It's up to you if you want to decorate the sides. I chose to, and I just cut the same DSP that I used on my gift box from the Autumn Toile. And then I'm just going to take and I'm just going to glue these on around the sides of my box. Just like this. This goes this way. I'm just going to take our little pieces. And now if you receive my email newsletter, so for people that belong to my email list, you will receive these instructions from me. This is something that I offer just for my newsletter subscribers. Okay, so then that way you'll get all the measurements for the pieces and the instructions. And I mean, of course, you can always refer back to the video. Once my live is done, I do add this to my YouTube channel also. So, okay, so I'm just taking these and I'm just adhering them. Like I said, I pre-cut everything out just for time's sake today. And we are just putting them on like this. Okay, so now we have our box decorated. Now I'm going to take my window sheet and I am going to fold on those score lines that we talked about earlier. And I'm just going to make sure it's straight. And then, it's really hard. I think you guys can see this. I'm just going to run my bone folder to make a nice crisp edge. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to fold this over like so. I want to get it right on that score line. And we're just going to burnish that. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take some tear and tape. And I am going to put tear and tape on the bottom of my box so that it's the acetate, the window sheet, stays with it. You will see if it's going to bug you, but you will see the tear and tape through the bottom of the box, but it's the bottom of the box. And if it really bothers you, you could take a piece of cardstock and put it on the outside so you don't see the tape. That's um, that's your call. And just use the same um, color that you did your box with. The Cajun Craze is what I used. Okay, so I'm just peeling these off, just like this. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to set this right inside my window sheet. And we want to make sure it's straight, because if it's not straight, it's going to be all wonky. And now my tear and tape came off. Okay, so like this. There. And we're just going to press that down. And then there we have our... Okay, and then the next thing that I did was I used a punch from the whole punch assortment. Oh, that's not the right one. Which one did I use? Oh, I don't see it. Oh, here it is, I bet. It's this punch right here. There's a trio of 3 punches, and I'm using this one that has that little notch thingamajigger on there. I don't know what shape you call that. But you need something to thread your ribbon through to hold it together. So I'm just going to punch this at the top, except for I'm going to flip it over so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go center-ish, and I'm just going to punch. And hopefully it releases. Okay, so now we have our hole just like that. Okay, so to decorate it, I used the Sign Design bundle. It is a set of stamps that are for multiple seasons, and it is not a die set, it is a punch set. Excuse me while I reach to get my punch. And I've already punched these, and I am using that two-tone cardstock again. And then I did Stamp Season in Cajun Craze and Of Thanks in Old Olive. And then what you do is you just take your stamp and you're going to line it up in your punch that came with it. And just like this. And there you have our tag. Okay. It's kind of quiet out there today. What's everybody doing? Anything fun or exciting? Okay, so now I can't find my sanding block. Well, I have another one, so we'll use this one. And the same thing, I used the two-tone cardstock, and this time I used the darker side for the top, and I'm just going to run a sanding block over the top to give let that white core of the cardstock shine through. Okay, and then that coordinates with the white of our sentiment label. But because this is the same exact size as this, and I want a somewhat of a border, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut it in half. I'm not measuring. I'm just cutting it down the center. So I have 2 pieces. Okay. Lori, I'm watching, listening while card making. Well, what kind of cards are you making, Lori? Are you working on, what are you working on? Okay, so I'm going to turn my sentiment label over, and I am going to put some seal just at the bottom and just at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to take my embossed piece and I'm going to just put it, let a little bit. Ooh, that's crooked. Okay, we're going to move that here a little bit. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to take the other one that we cut. We're going to do the same thing. So now we have, looks like a little bit bigger of a tag, and now we have that top and that bottom. And then I know I did want to cover this up because it is going to show through on our box. So I just cut Melissa's club cards. Oh, is that the one with the Northern Lights, or is that next month's? I don't remember what hers is. So I'm just basically going to hide that by gluing this on the back of it. So I'm going to put glue on the darker side so that it's all light colored on the back. Just like that. So there we have our Season of Thanks tag. Okay, and then I am going to punch a hole with the other of the punch from, there's 3 in a pack. These are great punches. And I'm just going to, or did I use this one? Yes, I did. Okay. And I'm just going to go just through the cardstock. Just at the top. Just like that. Okay. And we are going to, I used this for mine. I used the mesh and gold ribbon. I think it's on back order right now, to be honest. But I'm going to put this through at the top. Well, actually, I'm just going to go one at a time so that we just have this like this, and then like this. Let's see, Gift of Joy and the Christmas tags and more DSP. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love the DSP. Okay, so now we have this in here. Just like this. I'm going to take, I have a piece of the white and gold baker's twine and a piece of the, oh, already came out. I think it's Old Olive that comes in the set with the early espresso. And I'm just going to take those 2 pieces and I'm going to tie a knot. Well, I'll tie a bow. Did I do that? No, not with this. Excuse me. I used this mossy metal ribbon to go around this ribbon. Excuse me. Sorry. Forgot what I was doing. And we are going to tie a bow. Maybe. It definitely today feels and looks like a November day today. I don't know if it does where you guys are, but ugh. Paul went out today and did some more of the yard work, and I was a nervous wreck because he was up on a ladder, and he always makes me so nervous when he's up on a ladder like that. Ugh, but he's done now. I think he's got all the winter work done now for the season, I think. The outside should be taken care of. Okay, so I'm tying this in a bow, just like that. And I'm going to trim, grab my ribbon scissors, and I'm going to just trim this off, just like this. And then is when I use the twine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 pieces and I am going to run them under, well, I think it might be, yeah, under my mesh ribbon. That's kind of that white and, or clear and, I don't know, mesh and gold, I think is what it is. Okay. And then I'm going to take my tag and I'm going to put that at the top here. And I am going to just tie a knot just so that it's attached to my ribbon. Okay. So what do you guys think of these Hostess gift ideas? You like them, or what do you think? Okay. So I'm just going to tie this like that. I'm going to give it one more twist just to make sure. I don't think I have it completely in a knot yet. It's kind of hard to do this with it already on the box, but not that bad. That's just my fingers. Fat fingers. Okay, well, let's give it one more try. Go like this, like this. Okay, now we got our knot. Now we're just going to trim these ends off. Like that. And then if you go and flip it, you have this. I love the gifts. I enjoy bringing something with for the hostess. Hi, Tammy and Judy. I'm going to make them. Oh, great. Oh, Debbie, I want to see them after you make them. I want to see how yours came out. I want to see them. See what paper and stuff you chose. Okay, so now I'm going to take my turkey that I was telling you guys about. Isn't he just so cute? And then he turns on. I know I showed you this before, but look at that. So cute. I just love that little tea light. And then you can put some of that shredded paper in if you'd like. I'm not. And then there you have. There's another one of your cute little hostess gifts, a little candle in a box. And like I said, it came with. I got them on Amazon. And here's the pumpkin. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. And then there is a leaf. You get two of each. And then here's the leaf, the maple leaf. And then they just have a hole in them, and you just put them on the candles. There's a little attachment that goes on them. And they're pretty inexpensive, and they look nice. Like, it's like metal cut out. So, super cute. Okay, so there's that box that you can do. I am not going to show you how to make the wine tag because I wanted to be able to show you on video how to make the boxes. Oh, thanks, Mom. I cut out the large maple leaf and oak leaf from the gathering. Is it gathering together or gathering moments? And then I did the same thing. I used the two-tone cardstock. This one is pumpkin pie and Cajun craze, and then I sanded them. And then I put a piece of ribbon and just crisscrossed it and adhered it on the back. And what you do is you just slip this over your wine bottle, and then that way you know how big this should be. And then I stamped and die cut the oak leaves from, which one is this one from? Amber Autumn, and I colored those. And then I added the irregular weave ribbon, tied a bow, and then used the linen threads in all three colors, the olive, old olive, the early espresso. And then I did stamp a sentiment on here. I used basic white and I used the Stylish Shapes dies to cut the banner. I stamped the sentiment, thankful for you, in old olive. And then I did take a sponge dauber just to kind of, I really like the white with the white, but it was just so stark, and just so to mute it a little bit, I just took my sponge dauber with Cajun craze and just ran around the edges of the banner. So isn't that cute? And I wanted a different type of wine tag because I've made plenty of these before, and normally, and I love them where you take the cardstock and put a hole and put it over the top. And I just wanted something just a little bit different because if you weren't using this for wine, you could use it for any kind of anything you wanted to add onto a little gift. So it could be for anything. Where were there Christmas candles? Lori, I didn't even look. I just was looking at the fall stuff, and all I saw was that, and I was sold. So I was out on Amazon, and I did not even look for them. So, okay. So next, I would like to show you how I made this banner, party banner dies. Okay, and this one too is relatively easy when you have your measurements. And I have about 10 minutes, so we're going to see what I can get done here in 10 minutes. Okay, so I have this. You want to take your screenshot. Now's the time. Okay, and then here's the other one. Okay, and this is all you need. So you need, I'm going to put these aside for a little bit more space. And then obviously the party banner dies. And the party banner dies that I used, the party banner dies are nesting dies. Okay, so I used the one that measured 3 across the top and the one that measured 2 3/4 across the top. Now, for my email newsletter people, I will share the measurements if you do not have the party banner dies that you could cut your own tag. And I have the exact measurements for that. Okay, so I've already cut and scored my cardstock. Okay, and I have my banners and I have everything stamped and ready. So for the bottom, you do want to use the thick basic white. Gives you a nice sturdy bottom for your box. And then I'm using early espresso. I just felt like I was using too much Cajun Craze, I think. I don't know why I chose early espresso, but I did. Okay, so you have your 2 strips, and there are, the basic white is 10 1/8 by 2, and your other cardstock, like I said, any color, this was the top of your box, it's 10 3/8 by 2. Okay, then you have your pieces here, 3 3/4 by 2, 3 3/4 by 2. Okay, you go and you score on your short side, okay, at 1 5/8. Then you want to turn and you would score on the long side at 3 5/8 and 6 1/2. Okay. Oh, excuse me, I have the wrong piece of paper in my hand. Okay. Thick basic white, 10 1/8 by 2. Okay. You score on the short side, the 2-inch side at the top at 1 5/8. Then you turn it and you score at 3 5/8 and 6 1/2. Okay. Then your thick basic white that's 3 3/4 by 2. Okay, you're going to score on the short side, the 2-inch side, at 1 5/8. Then you're going to turn your paper in your score and cut machine. Then you're going to score on the long side, this side right here, the 3 3/4 side, and you're going to score at 3/8, 1 7/8, and 3 3/8. Okay, same exact thing for your cardstock, same measurements. Okay, so to cut these, you are going to have the skinny edge at the bottom. Let's see if I can get this in the camera. One of these days I'll figure that out. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But anyway, you have your skinny, that 1 5/8 at the bottom. And what you're going to do is you need to notch these. And the easiest way, and so you can cut a V. But the easiest way to do that is just to take your, at the first score line, is to fold it like this. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to take a bite out and angle it just like that. Okay, so then you have your notch. You're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to fold this over and you're going to take a bite out just like that. So now you have this. Okay, so we do want to angle cut on each side, but we want to take a deeper angle than just like, before when you miter, you just take that little bit off. You want to go you want to go deeper. There's no measurement, you just eyeball it, okay? And we're going to do the same thing here. I'm left-handed, so this is hard. Okay, and then you're just going to take it and you're going to go like that. So you have that. Okay, now we're going to take the small basic white, thick, okay? And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have our skinny side at the bottom. We're going to fold this over like before, and we're going to take a bite out, just like that. And then you have your B, okay? And then we're going to cut these two little tabs off, the two little squares at the bottom, and we're just going to snip those off. You do not need them. And then like the other thing, we're going to take a cut. We're going to make it kind of deep. I'm just going to do that. Okay, so that's how you have your pieces cut for your bottom. And we're going to do the same exact thing with your cardstock. You're going to take your piece, you're going to fold it, and you're going to take a bite out. And you're going to do the same thing here. You're just going to go, and you're going to hold your scissors at an angle, and you're going to cut through. And there you have your notches. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to go here, and you're going to make your angle cut on each end. Now these do not have to be exact because this is just, it makes it so everything goes together nicely and everything sits properly. Okay, so you have your smaller piece of cardstock and you're going to angle, put your scissors at an angle, go up to that score line, and you have your notch. Same thing as the white, you're going to snip your corners off. You do not need the little tabs. Okay, and then you're going to give this a little bit of a deep angle. Okay, so now you have your pieces. Okay, I'm going to start with the bottom. And I'm going to... Okay, so what you're going to do is basically this piece here, this extra piece, gets attached here. Okay, so I'm going to take my liquid glue. Oh, before I do that, you know what? I'm going to burnish my score lines and get them, because especially with the thick paper, so that you get good creases. And go across all my score lines. So basically, I think for today, I won't show you how to decorate this box, but I am going to keep going and go over my hour to show you how to put the box together. Okay, so I'm going to take, well, I'm going to score these here. Just like this. Okay. I'm going to, so I'm going to take my glue, and put it on here, on that little skinny tab. And I'm going to take my other piece, and I'm not going to go, I'm just going to go just up to the score line. And I'm going to press that for a second so that it stays stuck. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take a drink of coffee. I think I did too much gabbing today. We're at the 1 hour mark. Okay, so we have that. So now we're going to take this, and this is going to go together like this. So I'm going to put glue on the other end of the piece I just added, that little skinny tab on the end, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to hold this together just like this, and just up to that score line. You don't want to go over it, just kind of wiggle it and then hold it for a few seconds. Thanks, Lori. Okay, so Doesn't that look weird? Okay, but what this does is this makes, when you push these two, you know, that piece that you added, when you push this in like this, it makes that banner shape. Isn't that cool? I saw this, her name is um, Brenda Quintana. I watched her make this and is just, she's so good at it. Okay, so that banner that you cut, that one that's 3 inches at the top, okay, this is going to be the bottom of your box. So this is my bottom. I know it's white on both sides, but you'll, if you know, you know. This is the back because you can see the ridges where you cut, had it go through the die cut machine. I took that other nesting one and I stamped it ahead of time. It says, "Blessed to have you in my life." I thought that was such a neat idea to stamp the inside of the box so when they take their little treat out, they have a little sentiment. Kind of like a Dove Promise chocolate. When you're done eating it, you get a little thing on the wrapper with a saying. Okay, we're just going to take this and we're just going to put that right in the center. Okay, so now, okay, you have your box. It's like this. Okay, this top flap is how you are going to attach the bottom of your box. Okay, so it's going to go like, nope, it's going to go like this. No, you know what? I shouldn't have glued that on there yet. Hold on, let me think. Goes like that. I shouldn't have glued that on yet because now you're going to see. Okay, so don't do what I do. Don't put this on ahead because what you want to do is put it on after you have the box together because then it hides the seams. I thought that something seemed funny. Okay, so you're going to take your liquid glue and you're going to run it across the top of your top tab. Okay, and you are going to line this up just like so. And I have way more glue than I need. And you're going to hold it here. Okay, just give that glue a little time to stick. Okay, I'm going to turn this around and show. And then I'm going to take it in my fingers and I'm just going to see if I would have read my own instructions that I have in front of me. You put this on last because then see, you can see that seam. If I would have waited, I could have put that over the top. Okay, so now we have our bottom of our box. What you're going to do now, okay, is you're going to put glue on all 4 of these leftover tabs. Okay, so one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, but you're only going to do one side at a time. Don't try to like put it down all at the same time. So you're going to take it and you're going to take your finger and kind of push in there so that you have your shape. Okay, and I'm just going to go just on this side with my finger. Just going to kind of rub it like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over so that I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, then I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to hold my shape in with my finger, just like that. And I'm going to get that on there, straightish. Okay, and then flip your box over, and this is when you can, because you've got that glue on there, but because you're using liquid glue, you have time to play with it. So I'm going to take my little tabs and I'm going to press them down just like that. Okay, so there you have, I think I got it a little wonky here. I want to make sure it is straight. Okay, there's the bottom of your box. Now, you're going to do the same exact thing for the top. You're going to take your smaller piece and you're going to add your glue to your tab. And you're going to adhere that just like that. Now, I made these for the first time to give as gifts to the people that signed up for my in-person kit class, and that was their gift, one of their gifts for attending my in-person kit class. My next one coming up is November 15th. They're at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at my house. If you'd like to join, it's $30. And there is prizes and food, refreshments, and fun. Love for you to come. Okay, and it's always the third Saturday of the month. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the white. We're going to go on the other side. We waited a little bit so that I had time for our glue. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach that. Okay. Now, and we didn't wait long enough. See, that's what gets, I get impatient. I love liquid glue for that reason, that it moves, but I don't have the patience to wait for it to dry. All right, so now we got our weird shape. I'm going to take and we're going to push this in. So we make our banner shape, or looks like a pie. Okay, and I'm going to flip it over, and we are going to put glue on this first flap. Okay, we're going to take I'm going to fold these other ones down. I didn't score it ahead of time. I should have done that. Or I guess I scored it. I didn't burnish it. Okay. And then you can go ahead and put this on here. I'm going to turn it around so I can see. And I'm just going to take it. And we're going to go like that. And now my fingers are stuck to the paper. All right. So now we have our banner on top of our box. I'm just going to kind of bend it over. Same thing. It's just lather, rinse, repeat. You're just going to take and you're going to put your glue on all the tabs that are left. And you're going to concentrate. It does go down and touch the other glue, but you're going to concentrate on just the one side at a time. Not worry about what the other sides are doing, because you'll have time to fix it. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of just push to line that up. Give it enough time to get sticky stuck. And then we're going to flip it over. And we're going to make sure that our points are where we want them to be. And there we have the top of our box. Just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, so, and we just hope that they go together, right? And there's your box. Just like that. And then what I did was I did the same thing. I used two-tone cardstock. I used crumb cake to decorate with the gathering leaves. And I'm just going to put that right over the top. And then you can decorate as you'd like. And there is your other gift box. So what do you guys think? Good Hostess gifts? Okay, so here you go. Here's the things that we made today. We made a card gift box. We made this banner box. We made the Season of Thanks votive candle holder. which had a cute little turkey in it. And then we have our wine tag. So that's it. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you do make these, I really do want to see them. I love to see it when you what you guys make, and you can always post those in my Expressions by Lish Stampin' Circle page. I would love to see that. So thanks a lot, Lori. Um, so yeah, this is my next class. Next Thursday is my class to go, and that will be the pine tree trimming. And those cards came out super cute too, I think. So that's it. We'll see you guys later. And as always, have a good rest of your week. Bye for now. Thanks for joining. Bye. Thanks, Debbie.